Okay, um, kind of waiting on the outpouring this morning. Uh, that kind of regular schedule. Lord got me up before 4. Um, Recognizing that I'm not going to have a lot of time this morning. Kind of did a couple walkarounds with the Lord uh, before before 4 or in between. Yeah, about 4:15. So it's good. It's nice and cool. Been hot the last few days. It's been uncomfortable. Been very tired physically. Been very tired. I think it's been kind of emotionally draining for me. Um, so I think there's been a lot of sleep, which is good. So I think my body needs to rest. So my cat Kikio is so she's recovering. So both of us are recovering. I'm recovering. She's recovering. So it's let's see, I took her in Tuesday, so today's Thursday. So it's been a couple days. She seemed to be better yesterday, and I thought more 100%, but we had an accident yesterday afternoon. So she's not 100% yet, and so I got a little worried. She's not eating as much. She's sleeping a lot. But I think that's okay because, again, I think she's in recovery mode, just trying to recover from anesthesia. And yeah, so hoping and praying that she fully recovers. Yeah, so this morning she seems more like her old self. So that's wearing on me. So that is emotionally draining for me too. So when my cat's not well and when there's kind of an unknown with her health, then it's kind of stressful, or right, so or it's just hard for me. And I'm just doing the best I can. So she's pretty old, and just again, just trying to take care of her as best I can. Some things this morning that came up is um, self-reflection about myself, and it's just it has to do with kind of agenda. So there's something for me that I know that whenever and especially in ministry, as I'm doing ministry, I make it a point to, like, okay, I walk in with no agenda, right? So I check agenda at the door, and just whatever the Lord wants, that's what I want. So I think that's kind of my philosophy. I'm always kind of, okay, Lord, what's up today? What are we going to do? So I'm always looking for, okay, Lord, what are you up to in this time, in this moment, in this season? Again, whether that's ministry, whether that's in my life, whether that's no, wherever I am, it's always, okay, Lord, what are you doing, and what do you want me to do? So I'm always looking for what He's already doing and just wanting to partner with Him. Um, like in ministry, for instance, um, you know, I would listen to a person's story, and then, I would, have some inclination of, okay, I think this might be, an issue, and maybe this is how we might resolve it. But I don't press that. I just am always inviting the person to encounter the Lord for themselves, and I lead them through a season of self-discovery. But having just introduced them to encounter the Lord for themselves and have the Lord walk them through their healing process. So that's different from before. I think before, what I used to do was, I would have, and then there's, I've been doing ministry for like, 20 years or some crazy thing. And there's, you would just learn things along the way. And then, so then you would apply whatever the new thing was, or new tool, or new resource, or new methodology. And then that would be kind of, hey, I or we would do things, that way for a season, 6 months to a year for a couple years, and then something else would be introduced, and then, hey, let's incorporate that. So through the years, there's been kind of, hey, what else is out there? Who's doing what is working? What works best? And then we've kind of now just come to a place of, there's just kind of this cumulative effect of just a lot of, personal growth, and then also, like, we just have a wealth of knowledge now of how the Lord works and what seems to work best in certain. Yeah, and how the Lord uses everyone, right? So it's everybody has different methodologies, everyone has different perspectives, everyone is on a different journey, if you will, healing journey. Um, yeah, so it also becomes who do I want to partner with, who do I want to associate with, what do I want, what teaching or ministry do I want to sit under during the season. Um, yeah, so kind of very interesting now where in some ways I've been kind of taking a break from ministry, from ministering, from praying for people, but I'm just kind of just sitting under different teaching during the season for the last few months. And it's been good. It's been informative. It's been enlightening. It's been transformative. Not one methodology works better than another, but it's been good. So just got finished watching. I think it's called the Outpouring. So it's like a global gathering of people as we get closer to Pentecost. It's really good. I really enjoyed it a lot. It was very long. It was like over 4 hours long. Yeah, just almost too much information, but I thought it was really really good. Um, yeah, I really enjoyed seeing Mike Bickle, hearing his word. Um, Loved hearing Caleb, especially appreciated him closing things out with that final song. I think that was like maybe one of the highlights for me was how he closed it out. So thank you, Jesus. All right. So reality is I'm at the point where I am open. I'm open and willing to share online or yeah, willing to go more public, if you will, with these things. So I'm learning how to post a YouTube video to Facebook. So I'm getting ready to watch a video about this and then check it out, try it out, and see what happens. So it, hopefully, so Jesus, just be with me, lead and guide me. Pray for patience, pray for grace, pray for mercy. Okay, so I just watched part of the video that I think pertains to what I want to do, and I'm going to give it a shot here. Um, so I, so I'll just say I think I know what I'm doing, but we'll see. Um, okay, I will get back to you with if I was successful or not. Okay, that wasn't too bad. So I have posted day number one um, in the Catalyst locker room. Um, yeah, so thank you, Jesus, and thank you, Bob. Okay, we're ready to roll, or we're live. I don't know. So I have some thoughts about this season, just kind of reflecting over the events of the last couple of days. And so I was sitting with the Lord this morning or walking around with Him, and so here's some of kind of the thoughts and some imagery came to mind, and that was of kind of like these flows of water, yeah, kind of like these convergence of streams of water coming together, and so that's kind of significant for me. And so I'm thinking that right now in this moment, I'm feeling or sensing that to greater capacity that streams or ministries are coming together, and as things come together, then there's just increased flow of the Lord. So as the flow increases, so it's not just flow, but it's also kind of maybe even there might be even greater impact in the spiritual realm as ministries come together and serve together, and then even a greater sense of unity. That also seems to be a theme from this morning, is greater sense of unity or coming together to serve together. So different ministries coming together, maybe different churches coming together, different people coming together, different cultures coming together. But as we can better serve together or walk together, or create a greater or increased sense of unity, true unity, then I think that will bring greater glory to the Lord, and there will be, greater release of His glory on the earth. Some other thoughts from this morning is, as I was kind of journaling too, just had the sense of it's not where you come from, but it's where you're going. So I'm just in that, just feeling like this is the season and the time to prepare to be released into our destinies. So I really feel that. I really sense that I'm being prepared, especially in these past few days and past few weeks, and then even going forward into the next couple of weeks, that I'm being prepared to be more fully released and prepared and honed, that my skill level's being honed to better help people discover and step into their destinies. So part of my call, so the discovery of kind of my call came, I think, 2 years ago. And yeah, so I think it's just good for me to articulate it every now and then. So as best that I know is that I feel like I'm called to set the captives free. I'm set to restore the sight to the blind, to heal the lame, to raise the dead, to bring light into the darkness, to bring or breathe new life into the dead and the dying. Basically, to restore and redeem, and to bring new life, and to release people into their destinies. So for me, I am kind of in a season of reconciliation. I think reconciliation with kind of my past. So taking a further look at stuff in my past, and then also maybe to greater capacity, letting things go. And so, yeah, so I'm in a season of reconciliation. Feel like the Lord's asking me to lay stuff down. Yeah, and in my release and letting things go, I believe that there's been, so some of the things that have hindered me or blocked me from receiving, I think things are starting to open up. But it's not been easy to do. So over the last few days, I've kind of been processing, kind of my, where I grew up and my home environment, and my relationship with my mom and my dad. Yeah, and it's been hard. So whenever I revisit this or deal with my past, it's not always positive, or at least the feelings are not always positive, and it's just hard work. But my personality too is one to go deep. I want to go deep. I want it to be thorough, and so I do the best I can in the moment. So the last few days, or this last week especially, been able to go deeper. Greater sense of forgiveness, greater sense of release, greater sense of blessing, and yeah, in my doing that, again, there's just been a greater sense of release through the generational lines. But that being said, it does take a toll on me. So I'm revisiting I'm revisiting things emotionally, revisiting things kind of spiritually, and also kind of revisiting things physically, or at least the end result or the cost is that once I start dealing with deeper stuff, or personal core stuff, I get kind of weary, right? I mean, emotionally I get kind of fatigued, physically I get fatigued, and it's like, especially, it's hard for me to stay in that deep place for extended period of times, and I've been trying to revisit this like every day for the last 5 days or so. So it's taken a toll, and I'm just feeling very tired right now, physically, emotionally. But it's been good. So even though I feel physically tired and emotionally kind of drained and fatigued, uh, there have been some positive results. Positive results is that I'm feeling like um, my eyes have been opened, my spirit has been open to um, what I had what I have received from my generational lines, both from my mom and my dad, which is new for me. I think I've not necessarily seen that, especially for my dad. I think I've seen things from my mom that are not as new, and I've been able to articulate. But I think over the last 2 days, I've been able to realize, hey, I got some positive things from my dad, which was very surprising for me. So all that to say is that today, especially what was highlighted for me when I was with the Lord, because I was like, hey, what's going on today? Where am I? Is so the Lord kind of just brought to mind that I'm in a season of recovery, or at least right now in the moment, I need to recover physically and emotionally. So what does that look like? Is I need to take care of myself. I need to get rest. So the last couple of days, I've been really tired, right? Just knocked down tired. Like my sleep has been very deep, sleeping longer, which is good. Um, but again, just in this season, as I'm wanting to go deeper and deal with, the core issues, that there is a cost, it takes a toll, but to take care of myself physically and emotionally. So yeah, so I'm looking to spending more time in the Lord's rest and in the Lord's peace in the days going forward. I think last week, definitely last week, I was kind of had these high expectations for the coming um, Pentecost. In a couple days we're going to have Pentecost Sunday. There's events every day this week. Yeah, and so I had kind of high expectations about that. In the moment now, it's kind of too big for me, or that's it's I have enough dealing with myself and what I'm dealing with personally that I've kind of just, okay, you know what, I'm going to just let my expectations down as it relates to, hey, what's going to happen at Pentecost, and just kind of concentrate on taking better care of myself, getting more rest, sitting in the Lord Shalom, and just healing up physically, emotionally, and spiritually. So yeah, so it's good, but it's a good season, and I've received a lot. So was it yesterday or the day before? I end up sitting under a new prayer, and it's yeah, so it's trauma prayer, and it's about 20 minutes long. I'm not even sure I've listened to the whole thing yet. I've definitely listened to most of it, and then I think I maybe have fallen asleep or ran out of time, and then picked it up later on. But in finding this resource, I've actually not just found this, but there's a number of these kind of prayers. So in this time of recovery, if you will, or better take care of myself, I think I'm going to sit under a bunch of these in the next coming days and just kind of see what happens. It's been good so far.